Hello, this is Bishop Doherty. This installment is about the Ten Commandments, which we will be treating in the Catholic Moment. A couple of weeks ago, I was at a meeting with all kinds of youth, and a youth director came up and reminded me what I said at a confirmation at their parish. I said, one of the questions I like to ask young people is, how many commandments are there in the Ten Commandments? And you'd be amazed at how many get that wrong. So let's start with those basic precepts, okay? There are 10 commandments in the 10 commandments. They're important for us because they're part of the bedrock of our moral and social fabric in our culture, I think still. They originated back at a time when other kingdoms where the Israelites were roaming around also had their laws. And you might have heard of the Code of Hammurabi when you were a kid and these kinds of things that they dug up out of the desert of the Middle East. The Israelites had theirs, and they were an expression of not only their faith in God, but as cultures began to urbanize and they stopped being roaming tribes of people and they stopped being isolated and started building cities where a lot of people were packed all together, they had to have some rules for their behavior. Our commandments are typical of lists that you will see, and sometimes people will see two different kinds of lists, and that's because there are two different kinds of lists in the Bible. You can find those in the Catechism of the Catholic Church. They are listed in there, and we have a typical list that we have. The first three commandments have to do with our relationship with God, and commandments 4 through 10 have to do with social rules, rules of behavior and comportment. So that people didn't get at each other's throats and they could live peaceably together. The first three commandments are that there is one God, don't take his name in vain, and worship God. The first commandment is more key today than ever. There is one God, and people say, what do you mean there's one God? Isn't that what we all think? And I'll say to them, do you know anybody who only prays when they lose their smartphone? That's where God has gone, into technology, into possessions that we might have, and money and other things. So, and God is a person, God isn't an idea. So the commandments are all about developing these interpersonal relationships, revering them and protecting them. So this is a key part of our Catholic teaching, and I think every Catholic should know the 10 Commandments. Yes, in order, because the number goes with the particular commandment. And it's important to remember that the first commandment is that there is one God. And we sometimes don't think about that very often, but it is God the Father, Creator, the Father of Christ, from whom Christ and the Holy Spirit come to us. They're all co-equal as God, but it's important for us to give that a little thought. So I hope they help you behave. And in behaving, I hope it helps you to be happy. God bless you.